And well, again, that's something that you've kind of helped me with a little bit is,
Don't overthink it, Doug.
yeah, man, it's not that big of a deal.
Not
Like,
that big of a deal.
and I think that actually back to like your process and when you're working with your clients, I think when you approach people from the place of confidence and it's not a big deal, it's going to be okay. I think that attitude and emotion is contagious. And I didn't realize it until, the last few years that, my mind is one that I will overthink things and I'll blow them up huge in my mind because generally my job is to solve problems people don't know they have well before they knew they had them. So my mind is always constantly looking for things to go wrong. So learning to turn that off because, man, if we're presenting to the client that this disaster, this scary thing, and, oh my God, the stress and anxiety, well, that's contagious. And then they're going to react the same way. So, learning that although, yeah, I may have to look for all these things, I don't have to be all those things.
Right. You can't be reactive.
Yes.
We one of my agents, Sean, and I'll call him out for this. He told me that I taught him to have a black heart. I'm like, but I'm really nice. But he said, no, I taught him to not be emotional in his transactions because the client's already emotional. But that's part of it is you just got to say, no one's dying here. It's okay. What do you need? Is this enough for you to still get this house? Is it not enough for you to still get this house? Because if it's not, we'll just get another one. It's okay. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, the result is going to be the result.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there crying or smiling, and we're going to choose, right?
Yeah, and we know you've been in long enough, I've been in long enough. We know the big ticket items to look for and to watch out for our clients. We don't have to worry about the rest of it. We already know that's coming. We know the stress is coming. I meet with my clients before we ever go under contract and explain to them, your seller's not going to fix everything wrong with this house. You're not going to get everything you want. You may not get the price you want. We're going to try our best, and we're going to do everything we can to get you what you need. So you just got to figure out where's your wiggle room, where's your safe spot, and try not to stress it too much. I've told my clients since the day one I started in this industry, I said, you can like any house you want. You cannot love it until I hand you the keys. That is our rule. Absolutely our rule, because you don't know. You don't know what's behind those walls. The inspector does once they get started. But when we go and look at that house, I love this house. I said, no, you love that paint color. I will buy you the paint. We're getting a different house. That's the job, is to help them, protect them from their emotional attachment to things.
I really love the way you put that because, that's one of the things we tell our clients, in the pre-approval process. We always try to explain to them, you've got to get this part done before you start going online or before you start working with your agent, because if you start looking at houses now, Murphy's Law says you're going to fall in love with one that's about 10 grand more than your budget allows. And because you're so in love with it, nothing else will ever be good enough.
It will not. There's a huge difference between a house for $275 and a house for $250. There's light years difference between those two homes. And when you've seen the finishes of a $275 and you can only buy a $250, you're not going to be happy. You won't find the house that you love because you already loved something out of that price range.
Yeah.
No, it's just, we do the same thing. We will not show houses without a pre-approval. Everybody can complain all they want. My agents and I will not go and show a house without pre-approval. Protects the agent, it protects the seller's time, but it mainly protects that buyer. So there are a lot of buyers that we've lost over the years who don't want to work with us because I will not go show them a house without it. But it's not in their best interest in any way.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to slow down. And, we're in this fast-paced world where, we all want everything yesterday, and half the time we want it for free. I mean, it's the way we're conditioned. It's the TV shows we watch. It's the messages that we accept in our life is what we become, and it kind of is what it is. But I think it's time to get the message back that, remember when we were kids and they used to always tell us that doing it right the first time takes so much less time than having to do it over 2 or 3 times.
Oh, absolutely.
Slow down a little bit. I know we want everything yesterday and for free, but
we've been on fire for 3 years. This industry has been on fire, and there've been a lot of people taking shortcuts. Clients to agents to lenders, everybody taking shortcuts. In no way does that benefit, or has it ever benefited anybody. Do the steps in the right process, and you'll be okay. It's not stressful. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You'll find the house you love. It's going to be all right. You don't have a pre-approval and you love that house, guess what? 7 other people with a pre-approval just showed it also, and there's 7 offers in. As much as we're in a slower market right now, we are still in a competitive market. You got to be prepared. And my job is not to make you feel like you're happy-go-lucky, everything in the world's great and everything's your way. My job is to lead you and train you and explain to you and protect you during this transaction. And that starts with a pre-approval, plain and simple. I'm protecting you from yourself and your emotions and your crazy idea of what you're going to be buying when you work at McDonald's.
Yeah. I literally just had a client about a month and a half ago that wanted to buy a $450,000 home. And when I told her what the payment was going to be, she didn't call me back for almost 2 weeks, which done this a long time. That means she had to shop a couple other lenders so they would tell her the same thing I did.
Exactly.
And her thought process was she thought she could buy a house, above $400,000 for less than $2,000 a month. And I don't know where that imagery or that mindset might have come from, but there's a lot of different ideas out there, everybody. And the thing is that I know you got a supercomputer in your pocket. I don't think that thing's ever, at least not in our lifetime, is going to get smart enough where it's going to eliminate the professionalism and, the knowledge of a hyper-local person.
Yeah.
So you can get some data out there. The problem is it from 2018? Is it from 2023? Who knows? So definitely make sure you're still checking with your local professionals before you're making those big decisions. But